Hello, lovelies. Happy Wise Women's Wednesday. I'm here in all my glory, as you can see. Come on in. Let's have a little chat. We have been without power here since Monday morning at 3:30 a.m. Monday morning at 3:30 a.m. Can you believe that? And yesterday, I guess last night, the power, not only did the generator went out that was on the pump, the water pump, so we now have no water. So we're taking water out of our water heater, and it's just, we're just doing what we got to do. Looking good for no power. Lisa, this is held together. This is my dirty hair with a lot of dry shampoo. A lot of dry shampoo. I need my hair done, and just as long as you don't touch it, you're good. I am desperate for a shower. I haven't showered since Sunday. So, yay. Ha, ha, ha. Just giving it to you straight, girlfriends. Thanks for showing up and hanging out with me anyway. And as you can see behind me, I've got some flowers going on. I've got orchids and lilies. Those lilies came from Amy, who is in our Take Back Your Life group, and I just absolutely adore them. They're downstairs, and I thought, I'm going to bring them upstairs, and I'm going to enjoy them because I've got them right here over my shoulder, and I thought, well, that's just pretty glorious, isn't it? Hi, Martha Corliss. I see Jenny, Doris, Vanessa was there. Hello. I know you're all coming on in. I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing your, Wednesday today with me. It is Wise Women's Wednesday. It's one of our favorite days because we talk about all kinds of things. Because developing wisdom is something that, maybe we don't think about mindfully. But if we think about it mindfully, that's when it starts to come into play. Hi, Tay. Good to see you. We have all kinds of things coming on. Also, our new fiber mender is here, and everybody is enjoying that a lot. Hi, Diana, our new Take Back Your Life member. Good to see you today. We have a new fiber mender. You'll be seeing more of that. There'll be more information about that. 10 grams of fiber. And if you buy 3 of them, we will send you a mindful mug, of course, and free shipping. So you can't beat that. It's pretty good stuff too. Let me just tell you, 10 grams of fiber. Fiber is our friend. Fiber makes things work, makes our digestive tracts happy. And this is one of the ways that we can, the number one cancer in women is not breast cancer, it's colon cancer. And that's from a lack of fiber. And most Americans do not get enough fiber. And this is one of the ways that we can do this. It's one scoop. One scoop and you're going to get half of what you need for the day. So that's pretty good, huh? I love that stuff. As long as you're drinking enough water, you'll be making things move through, if you know what I mean. I love it. Plus, if you decide to put some body clutter tea, I'm sorry, everything's backwards, you guys. I'm sorry, my brain is just not on fire right now. But our body clutter tea, our Wise Women's Tea, this is something Marla and I put together ourselves. We wanted something that we loved. We have green tea, we have black tea, we have bergamot. Bergamot is a citrus that has all kinds of health benefits in it, and it's in there. It has an oil of bergamot in there, and it's fantastic. The tea is the freshest you've ever tasted. It's all organic, and it's unbelievably on point. And the tea manufacturer guy, they thought we were nuts putting green and black tea together, but we knew what we were doing. We did it for the health benefits. We also did it for the flavor profile. And this stuff is off the hook. So if you put Wise Women's Tea in your cart and you can go shopping for everything else, you've got SAME is in. We've got, I think we have some unflavored. Yeah, it does smell wonderful, doesn't it? It just absolutely is incredible. We've got chocolate is on the way. We've got, oh, by the way, Just Juice Veggies. Everything is going to be here tomorrow. So not everything, but the L-glutamine and Just Juice Veggies are going to be here tomorrow, as well as more chocolate perfect paleo protein. Very excited. Things are starting to come together. You know, we have to believe that life is working in our favor. You know, I'm always looking for that evidence. That's what I'm looking for. I am not going to go onto the pity party and start whining about things that just aren't, or what is threatening to be. If there's something that I can do to change it up, I'm going to. That's all. This is something that I have learned after all of these years. Yes, they are compostable. This is something that I have learned after many, many years being on planet Earth and living my life. And that is that your destiny is determined by your outlook, period. It is. Because your body, you are always searching for evidence to support the things that you're thinking. And that's what's going to come collectively into your life. And honestly, that is what's going to come collectively into your life. And I don't know about you, but, you know, pandemic, no electricity, no water, etc. I mean, where we are right now, I could go on a big wine fest if I wanted to, but I just choose not to. It's horribly inconvenient, but we've got, you know, we are blessed with a generator downstairs. I am blessed with the fact that I can put my hair back like this and slap a little, you know, dry shampoo on there. I am blessed with the fact that I still have internet because of that generator. I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I am blessed and highly favored. And that's how I choose to look at it. I am blessed and highly favored. What about you? How are you feeling today? Are you blessed and highly favored? Do you have electricity and hot water? Yes, you are. I'll do anything for a shower. I cannot wait for that shower. Anyway, all you have to remember is if you win, you put this in your cart and go get all the other supplements you want. You guys, they're all coming in. Grab it, grab it, grab it. If it's over $100, not only will it ship free, but you'll also get this wonderful little mindful mug. How do you like that? Just put ships free in the promo code and we will take care of you. It's all on me. I'll take care of it. And I love when you guys get your supplements from us. You know, you're keeping a small business in business. And I am a small woman-owned business. I've been doing this since 2000, but saving dinner since 2001. And you know what? It's been what a wild ride. Would have never seen anything like this coming. Would you? Would you have predicted, 2020, there's going to be a pandemic? Of course not. So James Clear, who is a fantastic author who I really like, has said, ultimately, the only way to be in control of your life is to be in control of your thoughts. And controlling my thoughts has been, a little bit of a challenge, because my thoughts really want to go down this road over here and just go crazy. But you know what? When I choose to control my thoughts, when I choose to look for the evidence to support the life that I want to leave, when I choose all of that, which is, definitely it's a switch on the tracks, it's a switch. It makes such a difference because I don't find myself falling. You don't want to fall. We want to stand our ground. We want to control what we can, and we want to be powerful women when we do it. We don't want to fall into that place. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, about the life-changing wisdom. There's 11 things that I've come up with. This is just some of the stuff that I've, found, and some of the things that I found from friends, and just stuff that I've put together that I want to share with you. Aren't those flowers beautiful? Marianne's saying the flowers are beautiful. That is my very resilient orchid that I told you about yesterday that just has gone up over and above the line of incredible. That orchid has come across country with me, and this is the second, third, fourth time it's bloomed. And every time it blooms, it becomes bigger and bigger, and it has a double stem. I've never seen that happen before. Below it, you'll see those gorgeous lilies. That came from Amy, one of our Take Back Your Life members, who just sent them to me to say, that she was caring about me and loved me and everything else, and I just love her back. What a beautiful thing to do. So I love all of these beautiful flowers, and I'm going to sit here with my resilient flowers and let them do their thing, because they're casting beauty out, and you guys are getting to enjoy them just as much as I am. Have you noticed that beauty is peacemaking? Have you noticed that? It is peacemaking. And these flowers are in full bloom. And that leads me to what is happening on Saturday. On Saturday is our full bloom event. Now, normally we do this together in person, but we can't do that right now. So we've opened it up to everyone. It is now a virtual event. You can check it out at savingdinner.com/bloom and get all the details. And I make a big invitation and cast my net wide and say, come on in, because this is all about living your legacy now and not leaving a legacy for when you're gone, but living it right now today and becoming all that you can possibly be, finding your mission, finding your purpose, and being the woman that you deserve to be, stepping into your very best self. That's what this is about. I want you there. Go to savingdinner.com/bloom. I promise you won't regret it. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so today we're talking about life-changing pieces of advice that have somehow found their way into your life. I've got 11 things that I wrote down. Some stuff that I dug up on the internet, some stuff that I thought about myself from my own life, and things that have, just really changed my life. Changing your life comes from the people that have had an impact, usually, right? Or a book you've read, or somebody saying something. And, one of the people that has changed my life has been Marla Silly. Way back when I was just a struggling freelance writer trying to homeschool my kids, and my house was a disaster. And it wasn't just getting my house together, it got me together too. Because it's funny, it's like your house is almost a metaphor for what your life is. When everything's out of order, you can't think. And visual peace is important, as well as having your life in order so you can have room to think about other things. You can only handle so much. You can only have so many things to think about, and then things shift. Then you've got to let some other stuff in, and you can't overlook the fact that this having a house that's just not blessing you is incredibly stressful and painful. And even though you can kind of get numb to it and it gets invisible, it still puts you in the place of just, there's something always hanging over your head. That's how I look at it anyway. So she was a person who changed my life. James Clear, who I often quote from, changed my life. Wayne Dyer changed my life. The Bible changed my life. Certain pastors along the way have changed my life. Certain friendships along the way have changed my life. Even the men in my life have changed my life. The not so good ones and the good ones, right? Can we just say amen to that? There are, even the stuff that happens to you that's not the best can change your life. Motherhood incredibly changed my life and opened my eyes to things that I never saw before. And at this place in time where I'm a few weeks away from turning 62, had to think about it for a minute, 62. Yeah, you know what? Age has changed my life, and just stepping into this age has changed my life. I worked so long to I want to be younger, I don't want to be this, and I don't want to be that. Now I've got gray hair coming. And you know what I'm going to say to that? This is what I say to that. Who cares? There is wisdom in aging, or there's bitterness. And I'm choosing the wisdom side. I'm going to walk in wisdom as opposed to walking in bitterness and just being one of those hand-wringing old women, Fine wine ages well. So does cheese. There's a few things that age really well. And there's stuff that just doesn't. You can think of a few things like, some bread sitting on your counter and getting all moldy. I don't want to be like an old moldy loaf of bread. I want to be like a bottle of fine-aged wine. And I am choosing wisdom, and I'm not choosing bitterness. I'm not choosing the bitter, hand-wringing path. And we have to go full frontal, on that and say, this is the path I'm choosing. This is where I'm going. And that's why I want to share with you some of these wise things. I've got 11 things for you that I think are really super. This is part of the wisdom path. And that, yes, Catherine's got her pinkies up. This is how we put our pinkies up, ladies. And if you're new to my, this whole thing, we put pinkies up in unity to say, this is how we're going to do it. It's like, your pinky oath, your pinky swearing or whatever, and you're making a connection with another woman that says, I want this for my life. I want that higher level. I want that better path. And that's what we're choosing when we walk in our wisdom. And the first one that I'm going to share to you is that words are powerful. Think about how your words have completely blessed the pants off of someone and changed and given a different path for their life. I think about my 8th grade teacher who said to me, "You really wrote this? You really wrote this?" When he said that, and he said, I don't believe you. And I said, I promise you, I wrote this. And he went, wow. He gave me an A+. And you know what? It changed my path. As I walked back to my desk with that paper in my hand and with tears in my eyes, I said to myself at that time, I am going to become a New York Times bestselling author in the 8th grade. His words changed my life, changed my path. And it happened, right? Yay. Words are powerful. Your words are going to bless, or your words can take away. Your words are going to curse, or your words are going to uplift. What do you want your words to do? Think about the time in your life with your children. Have you ever had a time of regret when you've said something? I did one time, and I remember sitting down on the floor, crying it out with my daughter and holding her and telling her that my words were all wrong, and that and even though I couldn't take them back, that I owed her a huge apology. She was 3 years old. She still remembers that. And you know why you remember that? You remember it because that is impactful. When somebody can feel your empathy and know your remorse, not regret, remorse. Remorse is empathy. Remorse is huge, and it shows that I see where you are, I feel where you are, and I can't fix this, but I'm certainly going to sit here with you and hold you up. That's big, and that's where we need to be. So words are powerful. Choose them carefully. Choose them in a way that's going to uplift and bring all the people that you love along with you. Your words are massive. Number 2, overthinking kills happiness. How many times have you overthought something and overthought something and overthought something, and you just suck the joy right out of it, right? Gosh, I've done that so many times. And sometimes we just have to say, you know what, I'm just going to do this. Now, I'm not talking about bungee jumping, but I am talking about choosing a cross-country move like we did last summer, choosing to do something that, you don't know what the outcome is going to be about, but you do know that this is something that could possibly light you up and bring you joy. So go for it. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Number 3, you know what failure is? Failure is not trying. Failure is saying it's too hard, I can't, it'll never work out, etc. You know what I'm talking about, right? Failure is to just give up, is to lay down and to allow everything else to have its way. Failure is inertia. It doesn't work for you. And if we can get momentum on our side, then we win. Even if it's not perfect, it's at least excellent. And trying is excellence. Failure is the result of perfectionistic thinking, which is paralysis. Keep that in mind. Number 4 is live for today. Today, today, today. You've got this Wednesday. Isn't it fantastic? I've got this Wednesday. We have this Wednesday. We don't know what tomorrow holds. So if we can hold on to our days every single day with slightly open hands and being very grateful, spending our words wisely, spending our love wisely, and bringing in our people, how much joy are we going to have in that day? I'm going to tell you right now, a lot. Enjoy your days. Enjoy your days and live for the day. And your decisions, number 5, is your decisions determine your path. How many times have I said that? You know that. A decision or a non-decision is still a decision nonetheless. And decisions are what clock your way around this world. Decisions to turn left or to turn right are what determine what your destination are, whatever. And you know what the whole thing is? When I look at this and I think about this, I think about the good decisions that I've made in my life, and I think about the bad decisions I've made in my life. But one thing that I know is that when you hold fast to a good decision, it changes the trajectory of your entire life. So look at things from the perspective, don't overthink them, but look at things that this is a decision that I am making today, maybe to drink more water, that's going to change my health. This is a decision that's going to change my fill in the blank. Start thinking in those terms and those decisions become easier. Promises are the same thing. Okay, so decisions determine your path, and it makes you, and if you make a decision in anger, let me ask you about that. When you've made a decision in anger, have you ever regretted it? Have you ever regretted that? Well, I'll never talk to him again. I'll never do this again. I'll never fill in the blank. And we make a decision and then later we regret it. But we also do that with promises. We make promises that you promise forever and ever that this is going to be, this is going to be the same thing. And, there are so many times when we've made promises that we've had to break because we haven't thought them all the way through. Now, there is a difference between overthinking and there is a difference between thoroughly thinking. And sometimes this happens with promises. And if you've ever had to break your promise with a child and you've seen the disappointment on their face, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We need to make our promises carefully. It's getting married, for example. That's an important one, right? Making a promise to a child like, when you graduate from high school, we're going to go do this, or when you do this, then we'll do that. My dad, I remember this very clearly. He made me a promise and told me, this is Dad's back in the 60s. I'm going to be on the Ed Sullivan Show. I thought my dad was the most talented man in the world. He used to play the guitar, and I'd come in and watch him play the guitar and sing with him, and we'd sing Kumbaya, and we'd sing all kinds of stuff. And he told me he was going to be on Ed Sullivan Show, and I kept looking on the Ed Sullivan Show and waiting for him to turn up. And he promised me he was going to, oh yeah. I said, Dad, are you really going to be on? You promise? Oh, I promise. I'm going to be on the Ed Sullivan Show. I'm going to have 4 or something. But that stood with me. And when he told me that that wasn't going to happen, I was crushed, absolutely crushed. So little children, your promises to little children are important. Make sure that they're for real. Don't make something up just to shut them up. Say things that are important. And when you're speaking with a child, do it in a way that they can understand, but also understand that they understand literally what you're thinking, what you're saying. So be careful. Your words have power, and your promises can break someone's heart. The other thing is we have to have a resiliency code, don't we? We talked about this yesterday. A resiliency code that's the thing that's going to get us through every single day. That is the stuff that a backbone is made out of. Now, we can adapt, or we can find ourselves crying on the floor. We can adapt, or we can start complaining about what our lot in life is. We can adapt, or we can just be the most miserable human beings on the planet. What are you going to choose? Are you going to be resilient? What is your resiliency code? Mine is, I'm like that orchid back there. Yep, right there. I will be in full bloom, taken across the country, and I will not be broken. Because blessed are the flexible, for they will not be broken. Amen? We need to be resiliency. Adapt or die. Adapt or lose yourself. Adapt or be the most miserable human being on the planet. It's a choice, and it's a decision. Think first and act second, okay? Have you ever regretted saying, I shouldn't have done that? Ever been in that place? Haven't we all? But if we just taken the time to think it through, not overthink it, just think it through, from back to front, I like to say, because we think sometimes from the little brainstem instead of thinking from the prefrontal cortex, which is where our abstract thinking happens, where we can think through, if I do this, then this could happen, or this can happen, or this can happen. But if you think things through thoroughly and you give it a minute and then you act, then usually you're making the best decision you can possibly make. But if you just knee-jerk reaction, I mean, what do you think the prison is held up with? Who do you think all those prisoners are? There are a lot of people in there who knee-jerked something and made a decision that they later regretted. You know, in anger they hurt somebody. In anger or in desperation they robbed a bank. In anger, and it was just a split-second decision. They didn't think it through. I think it's important for us to start thinking things through and then acting secondly. It's a simple concept. And the next one is choose who you hang out with carefully. Are you hanging out with people who whine and complain? I told you that they've shown, scientific studies have shown that whining actually shrinks your brain. We don't want to do that. Hanging around people who whine, it's like you feel dirty afterwards. Have you ever had that where somebody's just, it's constant yammer, 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 and nothing is ever good enough. And being around those kind of folks makes you want to just come home and take a shower. And my suggestion is that you choose carefully. You can choose your friends, and you can even pretty much choose even though you can't choose your family, you can choose in your family who you want to hang out with. Be careful. Especially right now, especially when you're guarding your own self, your own soul, your own good mood, your own vitality. When you're guarding yourself and you're careful about what you're exposed to, then that's when you're able to make these decisions easily, because you don't want to damage your psyche. It's important. Be a helper, not a hindrance. Be a helper. How can I help? Our own Jenny right now, who's right here, Jenny's making masks for people who need them. My sister Lori is making masks. She made these masks for Mark and I think I showed you my little mask. They're all made out of, look, isn't it so cute? It's made out of gingham on one side, and it has a reverse side on it. Has a place to stick a coffee filter. They're fantastic. And that comes from being resilient. That comes from looking for the need. That comes from being a helper and not a hindrance. You could be a conspiracy theorist and get on to Facebook and start yammering on and on about things. Or you can say, just shut up and get on your sewing machine and make a couple of masks for someone. Or go volunteer down at a food bank. Or do something that's worthwhile. It's going to help your fellow man, not fill him up with doubt and fear. Who do you want to be? We choose that. We always choose back. Looking back is also a big problem, isn't it? You can look back with regret. And what is regret? It's guilt. It's feeling bad, and it's avoiding that kind of a pain. Whereas remorse is feeling. It's having the empathy. It's understanding that wasn't the best decision. I want to make that better. And it's also being able to walk alongside someone who's in a lot of pain. You know, you can always set a boundary, even with somebody who has the propensity toward really whining a lot and bringing you down. You could set a boundary and say, I can't handle that anymore. This has got to go, and these are the reasons why. This is a boundary that I have. But if you need my help, I'm here for you. I'm here to love you. I'm here to care about you. But I'm not going to be a sounding board for you with complaining about everything in the whole world. We can always put a boundary up. Always. We have that ability. We have that capability. And I'm going to tell you right now, wise women have boundaries. They do. So there you go, you guys. That's what I have for you today. It's very simple. I think wisdom is something that we need to be actively striving after. And I'm going to see a lot of wise women on our event for Full Bloom, which I am so looking forward to. Full Bloom is happening on Saturday, and I apologize to all the West Coast people. It's going to be 6 a.m. for you, but we're starting at 9 a.m. with coffee, maybe a perfect paleo protein smoothie, but we're starting at 9 a.m. We'll be able to see each other. I have a wonderful thing. We're going to do some nutritional hot seats, so I'll be able to help you out as your nutritionist. I am so excited about this event. If you want to find out about it, go to savingdinner.com/bloom. Share it with your friends. Share this video. And by the way, we will be back in the kitchen for cooking lessons on Monday. We are supposed to get electricity again today, but with Full Bloom coming up and everything else, and I've got my Take Back Your Life folks and Hot Melt Club and everything else, I'm going to keep it simple and just say Monday, we'll be back in the kitchen at 4 p.m. Eastern doing cooking lessons. That's cooking from your pantry with what you have, right? So I'll be sharing that starting again on Monday. And for right now, you'll find me every day right here at 1 p.m. And on Saturday, we will be completely off the grid unless you're a part of Full Bloom. So if you want to find out about it, go to savingdinner.com/bloom. Don't forget, Wise Women's Tea, that's your ticket for shipping free. Ships free is what you put in the code when you check out. There's a little promo window. And this body clutter tea, if you don't have it, you're missing out. This is the best tea you're ever going to have. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. Share this video. Let's bring a lot of people in. And let's just remember this. Wise women are women with hearts overflowing with love and care for each and every one of us, but we never put down our boundaries. You got that? You can take that one to the bank, ladies. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Peace.